Hey, Michelle Lewis here, and I'm back to chat with you a little bit about what to do when you are feeling really overwhelmed with all of the social media posting and content creation, aka how to look like you are everywhere without the content burnout. So, what we're going to be chatting about today is how to simplify your visibility schedule so that you're not having to wake up every day and post on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and do a live here and a video here, how to simplify that process. And this is something that you may have fiddled around with before, but you're really looking for a more streamlined plan and schedule. I don't know about you, but for me, if I can have a plan, then I can execute it as I want, but at least I know the plan is in place to simplify my process. So right now, your schedule may look like this. You have your weekly calls, your coaching calls, your live streams scheduled, and you're kind of just day by day or maybe week by week scheduling out or posting live your Instagram, your stories, your Facebook posts, your LinkedIn, maybe your Pinterest schedule, all of that stuff. And that can be a little bit tedious because it feels like you're never getting ahead and you're filling up so much of your time daily with those posts. So instead, what I want you to look at is what is your visibility vehicle? We've talked about this in a previous episode, but I want you to really sit down and figure out where is your primary content channel originating? Is it a blog on your site? Is it a video? Is it a live streaming show? Is it a podcast? Is it an online summit? Whatever it is, you really need to figure out, am I publishing content regularly? What's my posting schedule for that? Is it twice a month? Is it once a week? Once you have that narrowed down, you need to figure out, okay, how much content am I talking about here? So for example, if you have a YouTube channel, that's absolutely fantastic, but you may want to think about also putting that video on your website as a blog and filling out all of that SEO, beautiful text, and giving a strong call to action. That way you can be driving traffic to that blog via a search engine like Pinterest. Huge. And for me, I found that being able to record a video and to also take the MP3 to put on the podcast, as well as put that content onto a blog, has really maximized my reach without increasing my time spent. So if you're wondering how I do it, that's the process. And then I be sure to put strong call to actions in my blog. That's where the pins advertise to. And then what I do, this is where the magic really comes in. So all the posting stress, that can all go away because then you actually take pieces of your blog content and put them onto your social media platforms. You can use a scheduling software. I personally use SocialBee. Otherwise, you can use Meet Edgar or Grum or Hootsuite, whatever you want to do. Here's where the magic comes in. If you miss a week, if you go on vacation, what I've done is I've put all of those posts into an evergreen bucket inside of SocialBee, so that if I take a couple weeks off, my old posts recycle. I don't do this all the time, but I have the option and I have used it, especially over the past 2 months while I've been working on my video training series. It took a lot of time, hours of editing, so I just really didn't have time to be posting new content, but I didn't worry about it because it was in that evergreen bucket and publishing without me on all of my channels so that I could step back. There's people that are going on vacation. There's people that are dealing with illness and they need a couple weeks off. And so this gives that flexibility where your work doesn't just go where you post it once and then it disappears. You're able to keep traffic going to it. And that's what I love. So between Pinterest and SocialBee, I am covered. And by the way, if you want to know the scheduler I use for Pinterest, it is Tailwind. And so you can put on your smart loops and it can just keep recycling. This has been invaluable for me because it's helped me know that I'm going to get opt-ins every single month, that I'm going to get traffic daily, that I'm sharing my expertise on my social media channels, which leads to people not only joining the membership in my other programs, but also wanting me to come in and guest on their show, in their Facebook group, in their online summit. So much of visibility and publicity can be word of mouth. And in order for people to understand what you specialize in, It's a great idea to not just have it on your visibility vehicle like your blog, but to also have it going on your social media channels so that people, your friends, people that you're consistently adding, especially to, let's say, Facebook or Instagram, can go, oh, color psychology. Michelle talks about that. Let me tag her in the post below because I have a friend that's looking for an expert. That's the kind of thing that we want to build and start creating with our visibility plan. So if you have your time blocking down, like we talked about in a previous episode, if you've got things organized and your press pages there, like we talked about in a previous episode, and you're ready to really start getting consistent with your posting, where it can also go into an evergreen bucket so that you can take a couple weeks off here and there, then this is the system that has worked fantastic for me. I'm going to put a couple links below just in case you're interested in taking my visibility class or the color class or my favorite podcast stages and publications, how to build your visibility plan. That is my video training series, and that I think by far has the most value. So I will put those links below so that you can investigate. But if you take nothing else away from today's episode, take the content that you're posting, put it into an evergreen bucket, and be sure to focus on releasing that regular free content to the public via a really strong visibility vehicle.